Jamel Dean finished first among qualified NFL cornerbacks in passer rating allowed when targeted last season, and Joey Porter Jr. finished third. That stat is absolutely crazy because it is incredibly rare for one team to put two corners who ranked in the top three across the entire league in the same secondary. I hope they can just get a deal done with Joey that makes everybody happy because the Steelers have something special with him and Dean together. That immediately raises the ceiling of this entire defense in a real way. We are not talking about two recognizable names being pushed together and sold to the fan base as some offseason fantasy. We are talking about two outside corners who already produced elite results when quarterbacks actually challenged them. Dean allowed only 25 catches in his coverage, picked off 3 passes, and made opposing quarterbacks pay for looking his direction. Joey did not surrender a touchdown, consistently drew difficult assignments, and still put together one of the best coverage seasons in football. That is the kind of production Pittsburgh has spent years trying to find on both boundaries at the same time. For most defenses, having one corner who can erase a side of the field is a luxury. Having two gives you a completely different way to play football. Joey can continue traveling with the opponent's top receiver, getting in his face, disrupting timing, and forcing quarterbacks to make throws through a tight window. The difference now is that looking away from Joey does not lead to an easy matchup. Dean is waiting on the other side with veteran instincts, recovery ability, and a proven track record of making quarterbacks regret lazy decisions. An offense cannot simply decide it is going to avoid one man all afternoon and pick on the other corner until Pittsburgh adjusts. That escape hatch may be gone if Joey takes the big physical number one target and Dean handles the receiver on the opposite boundary. The quarterback has to hold the ball, work deeper into the progression, and test areas of the field where Pittsburgh can rally. That changes third down, it changes the red zone, it changes how aggressively a coordinator can call the game. Joey also deserves far more credit for the season he just had. He was left out of some of the national conversations, even though his actual coverage results belonged with the best at the position. He was not padding numbers against weak assignments or living off one hot month. He played the role Pittsburgh asked him to play, faced top receivers, and finished near the top of the league in the statistic that punishes corners the most when they lose. Now put Dean across from him, and Joey does not have to be Superman every single snap for this secondary to survive. He can stay aggressive without feeling like one mistake will crack the entire coverage structure. Dean can trust that quarterbacks will be forced to come back toward him, which creates more chances to break on the football. Both players make the other one more dangerous, and that is why getting Joey extended is bigger than simply rewarding a homegrown star. It is about protecting a tandem that could define the Steelers' defense for the next several seasons, instead of watching one of its most valuable pieces walk into free agency after Pittsburgh finally found the perfect partner for him. The money is going to be serious because premium corners do not come cheap, but that cannot be the entire conversation. Pittsburgh has spent years of investment trying to assemble a secondary built to handle AFC passing attacks. It finally has a young corner entering his prime and a veteran coming off a huge year. Breaking that up over a gap that can be solved through structure, guarantees, or timing would be missing the larger picture. Joey has leverage. The Steelers have leverage because he is still under contract. Use that time to find common ground, keep the duo intact, and let the football benefit speak for itself. What makes this pairing so dangerous is that Dean and Joey do not have to win in the same way. Joey brings the size, reach, and physical temperament to challenge bigger receivers at the line, squeeze releases toward the sideline, and stay attached through the catch point. Dean gives Pittsburgh a veteran who can play with patience, recognize route combinations, recover when a receiver gains a step, and turn a bad decision into a takeaway. Those skill sets fit together instead of overlapping, and that gives the coaching staff answers against different types of offenses. When Pittsburgh faces a team with one true alpha receiver, Joey can follow him and make every target feel contested. When the opponent has two dangerous outside weapons, Dean can hold his matchup without demanding constant help. If a smaller, quicker receiver starts moving around the formation, Pittsburgh can adjust the assignment without rewriting the entire plan. That flexibility is where an elite duo starts affecting more than the two players lined up outside. Safeties can disguise their intentions instead of cheating toward one weak corner before the snap. Linebackers can play the run. A slot defender can be more aggressive because he knows the defense is not constantly patching a leak somewhere else. A coordinator can show too high coverage, rotate late, bring pressure from an unexpected angle, or leave both corners in man coverage and flood the middle of the field. All of those calls become easier when the men outside can survive on an island. That is the part of this addition that goes beyond Dean's individual statistics. His 3 interceptions and low completion totals show that he can produce when the ball comes his way. but his larger value is the confidence he gives the rest of the defense. Quarterbacks are trained to find the favorable matchup before the snap. Against this secondary, the favorable matchup may not exist on the boundary. One side has Joey, a young corner who just went through a full season without allowing a touchdown. The other has Dean, the league leader in passer rating allowed when targeted. That forces the quarterback to search inside, check the ball down, or hold it long enough for the coverage to tighten. Pittsburgh can dictate where the football goes rather than spending the afternoon reacting to whatever the offense chooses. It also creates the chance for more turnovers. Dean has already shown he can finish plays with interceptions, and Joey's tight coverage can produce tip passes, rush throws, and desperation attempts elsewhere. Takeaways are not only created by the player who catches the ball. They start when the first red disappears and the quarterback begins operating outside the timing of the play. With these two on the field, Pittsburgh has a chance to make that happen repeatedly. The red zone possibilities are just as exciting. Space gets compressed near the goal line, windows shrink, and physical corners become even more valuable. Joey can use his frame against fades and back shoulder throws, while Dean can read the quarterback and drive on shorter concepts. Instead of automatically rolling a safety over the top of the opponent's best receiver, Pittsburgh can use that extra defender to bracket a tight end, clog the middle, or add another body against the run. On third down, the defense can crowd the line, threaten pressure, and trust the corners to hold up long enough for the call to work. That is how a good secondary becomes the engine behind an aggressive defense. It is not about blitzing every snap or playing man coverage just to prove a point. It is about having enough confidence in the outside coverage to keep the offense guessing. Dean and Joey give Pittsburgh that confidence, and if both carry their 2025 form into this season, quarterbacks are going to spend a lot of Sundays trying to decide which bad option they dislike the least. The biggest winner from this cornerback duo might be the Steelers' pass rush, because coverage and pressure feed each other. TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith in the defensive front do not require quarterbacks to hold the ball forever. Give those rushers one extra beat, and a clean passing play can collapse before the quarterback reaches his second read. When the first outside receiver is blanketed and the quarterback turns toward the opposite boundary, only to find another tight window, the pocket begins to feel smaller. Feet stop moving on schedule, eyes drop toward the rush. A quarterback who planned to release the ball in 2.5 seconds suddenly pats it, resets, and gives Pittsburgh's edge defenders another opportunity to finish. That is how sacks start showing up without the defense having to manufacture pressure with reckless blitzes. Backs and tight ends can stay in to block, but every extra protector means fewer eligible receivers attacking the secondary. Send all 5 out, and Dean and Joey get more chances to win isolated matchups. Keep 7 in protection, and Pittsburgh can flood the limited route concepts with defenders. Either choice creates a problem, which is exactly what a great defense should force. This pairing can also change the identity of the Steelers on Sundays. For years, the conversation has centered on whether the pass rush could cover for the secondary. Now, the relationship can work both ways. That combination travels. It works against explosive offenses in bad weather, on the road, and in playoff games where one third down stop can decide the season. The AFC is filled with quarterbacks who punish hesitation and attack whatever weakness a defense leaves available. Pittsburgh cannot walk into those matchups hoping one star corner handles everything while the rest of the coverage hangs on for dear life. With Dean and Joey together, the Steelers can challenge both boundaries and make elite quarterbacks earn every completion through the hardest part of the field. The national attention may focus on Dean finishing first and Joey finishing third in passer rating allowed. But the real excitement is what those rankings look like when the players are sharing one defense. Those numbers were produced separately in different systems with different teammates and different responsibilities. Pittsburgh now gets to combine them. Dean is not being asked to arrive and rescue a weak cornerback room by himself. Joey is not being asked to carry every premium matchup without a proven player across from him. They can play off each other, learn how quarterbacks are trying to avoid them, and force the ball toward areas where the Steelers have help waiting. If offenses begin using motion and bunch formations to create cleaner releases, Pittsburgh has the talent to communicate, pass routes off, or simply let one of these corners travel. If quarterbacks become cautious, the rush gets time. If they become impatient, the secondary gets opportunities for interceptions. That is the kind of connected defense Pittsburgh has been trying to build. So when people talk about what Dean adds, it cannot be reduced to signing another veteran starter. He may be the piece that turns Joey's rise into something much larger. Together, they have the talent to become the best outside cornerback tandem in football, and they could give Pittsburgh a genuine no-fly zone rather than another offseason nickname that disappears once the games start. The Steelers finally have two corners whose recent production supports the hype. Finish the deal with Joey, keep this partnership together, and let the rest of the defense attack around it. If both men stay healthy and perform anywhere near last season's level, this secondary will not be surviving against top passing games. It will be dictating terms to them.